Good. The satisfaction of getting someone out of pain never gets old for a local doctor. She's seen her share of patients who needed relief from chronic back pain and other issues. Her colleagues at Novant Health are glad to have her here in the Piedmont, especially considering there are only a handful of African American women with her expertise in the entire country. When Greensboro native Dr. Misha Kilpatrick left for Hampton University in Virginia, she had a plan for what she thought her future would look like.
I actually went to college as a music major. I went to become a concert pianist. I grew up playing the piano, and that was a joy of mine.
She was a chemistry minor, but given the time commitments to pursue both, she decided it was best to focus on one or the other.
Ultimately, I decided on chemistry.
That became her major.
So when I went to medical school, I went as an MD PhD student, and I did my PhD in neurobiology and really just enjoyed the science behind the brain and how it functioned.
And that's how the journey toward becoming a neurosurgeon developed.
So while I'm not a concert pianist currently, I do still use my hands.
The operating room is one of the places she's most comfortable putting them to work, specializing in alleviating issues related to the brain, spinal cord, and nerves.
A lot of people will present with either neck pain or back pain, which back pain is one of the #1 causes of people having to miss work. And it can be quite debilitating, and it can interfere with patients being able to just enjoy it or have a good quality of life. Seeing a patient come in who is needing your help and that you foresee that you can benefit, and then being on the other side of that and helping them through their recovery and seeing that they're getting better, that's what makes it worthwhile.
Growing up, Dr. Kilpatrick saw a similar impact in her own household. Her father, Dr. George Kilpatrick, has been a pulmonologist for more than 42 years.
He was the first African-American pulmonologist in Greensboro, and so kind of being around the first, yet seeing him do it and strive, I imagine that played a role as well.
While Dr. Kilpatrick may not be the first African-American woman in her field, she is one of few. At the time a diversity study was published in the journal World Neurology, she was one of only 33 black female neurosurgeons in the U.S.
But I've been very supported, I feel. I did my medical school and residency training at University of North Carolina, Chapel Hill, and we were one of the few programs that had at one point just as many women neurosurgery residents as we did men. I did a fellowship at the University of Pennsylvania and felt very supported there as well.
Support even as she balances the needs of patients while being a wife and mother to 13-year-old twin girls.
Surgery historically has always been a demanding field. I think for women, oftentimes we're told because it's demanding, it's difficult to balance. We have to be more supportive of women, and the more of us that are doing it, I think it makes the younger people coming along recognize that it can be done.
And it was a 19-year journey between Dr. Kilpatrick's undergraduate studies, earning her MD, PhD, her neurosurgery residency, and a fellowship. Her advice: don't focus on how long it takes to achieve a goal. Instead, enjoy the journey. And I love that. Sometimes we can miss our blessing looking too far ahead and not being in the moment. So that was so good, that advice there.
So true, so true. Lots of life lessons in her.
That's right.
Good stuff.